Launches the 25, breaks a couple of tackles. And look at him go! And look at him go! He could go all the way
for the touchdown.
Get over here!
Damn! I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. I am here joined by Ivan. Ivan is a Bulgarian pro, plays for Sandstorm. Wanted to give a huge shout out to his friends in Bulgarian gang. It's this group of friends who play Clash Royale, and also to Jack from Sandstorm for hooking him up, getting him onto the pro team. He is a great player. I've had a lot of requests for this guy, and look at the deck we're going to be highlighting. Talk about off meta, talk about fun and interesting, and definitely a super strong counter to all the popular decks going around right now. So we're doing a live grand challenge here. Now, quick disclaimer, I ran out of disk space like a total YouTube noob on the first live match. He won against a graveyard deck. I will show that replay at the end of this episode. So this is actually the 11th match. We're going for a perfect GC here, live with Ivan. Wanted to switch things up a little bit and do these live grand challenges. Such a pleasure to watch a player with the skill and just the caliber of play as Ivan. So he's going against here a really wacky, it's like two meta decks combined, right? It's like bait mixed with Hog's Cycle, I guess. Very interesting. Just almost avoided that princess's target blast. What does she do? The arrows, princess's arrows on those Zappies there. But, you know, Ivan actually was kind enough to provide me with a bunch of tips for this deck, so I want to get right to them so I don't just end up blabbing my way through this episode, not knowing what to call the princess's projectile. I don't know if that came out right either. Anyway, Flying Machine. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that pro play. The Flying Machine basically pushed the skeleton barrel in front of it to tank for it, and now the Minor Poison comes down, takes out the princess, and that tower is going to be bye-bye, guys. Wow. That was awesome. We've seen Hogs push ice golems into the tower. We've seen princes push giants into the tower. Have you seen a Flying Machine push a skeleton barrel to essentially tank for it into the tower? That was an awesome play. The opponent gave him a good job because that was unbelievable. That was really awesome. Just in the nick of time, was able to put down that skeleton barrel to tank for the Flying Machine. So, you know, his first tip that he gave me is really one of his most important tips, he said, and that is the importance of the Flying Machine in this deck. He said it's the MVP of this deck in a lot of ways, and he'll protect it. Think of the Flying Machine in this deck as you might think of the princess in a bait deck, meaning even though it's only 4 elixir, 3 elixir for the princess, you never want to drop it and then just let it die. You really want to protect the Flying Machine. It's so important. It does a lot of damage. It's good against, you know, unorthodox matches that you normally wouldn't think to use the Flying Machine against, such as a graveyard. It's really good against. So definitely protect and use your Flying Machine. It's going to be one of your MVPs in this deck. Now, Giant Skeleton is also a really important card in this deck. It was the last card played in this match here, I think by Ivan. However, in some matchups, it's going to be really important. In others, kind of like a P.E.K.K.A control deck, look at this. Zappies doing their thing. That Hog's not going to get one hit on that tower thanks to the Zappies. This push could do it here. I'll get back to the Giant Skeleton in a moment here. The opponent uses Tornado. I think we're going to pull this victory off here, guys. We did lose that left tower, but here comes the Miner. Is he going to Zappy Zap? That redirected the Princess Tower onto the Miner. Flying Machine, we were just talking about how important the Flying Machine is in this deck, and it does strike the final blow on that right tower. Really well played there by Ivan. Do want to give a shout out to my YouTube sponsor of the day. It's Goldfella. Goldfella, thank you so much for sponsoring the channel, and thank you to all my YouTube sponsors. I appreciate it, guys. Moving into the 12th and final match here of this grand challenge. And let's see what he's up against here. Oh, wow. A very aggressive opponent is what he's up against. He's going to counter that skeleton barrel, Royal Ghost and Bats with a flying machine and a giant skeleton. Now, the opponent used poison, so let's think about this. Let's do quick math here. That's 12 elixir for 12 elixir. So we actually come out losers in that exchange there, but you know, having to think fast on your feet and at the mercy of your starting hand, Ivan played that pretty well there. So look at that, Giant Skeleton did indeed go from being the last card played to the first card played in this matchup. So Giant Skeleton is going to be super important. This deck can win against the not can win, it will win. It has the advantage in the matchup against that much hated bait Mega Knight Inferno Dragon bait deck. Now remember, you have Zappies as well, and Zappies can do a really nice job resetting the Inferno Dragon against that deck. And look at this, the opponent uses the Zap. We're going to use a defensive miner on the right. We're going to have a Flying Machine and one Zappy in the left. Flying Machine does get one hit off. Zappy's going to get a few hits off, but you guys know Zappy doesn't do a ton of damage to the Princess Towers. However, they're really strong defensive card now, especially since the last balance update, now that they can target air. So Ivan did mention, again, Giant Skeleton's going to be super useful, but how are you playing him? Well, Giant Skeleton in double elixir time can be played really aggressively. It can be played, it doesn't have to be behind the King Tower, and it can be played pretty often. You can essentially cycle that Giant Skeleton, especially if you're hitting really big pressure in one lane. Now, against Golem matchups, it looks like we're not going to see a Golem matchup if we win this match. That's a big if here. It's really, you know, we're into double elixir time, but it's still anybody's match at this point. So let's focus on the play-by-play. We'll talk a little bit more about the Giant Skeleton. Just to finish my thoughts on the Giant Skeleton, oh, look at that Zappies. It's going to reset the Inferno Dragon, keep that Flying Machine alive. Miners tanking for the Flying Machine. That was a really, really nice job. Again, supporting the Flying Machine and trying to keep it alive. Very important with this deck. So the final thought on Giant Skeleton, guys, is in the first 2 minutes, though, Ivan said he's not going to normally play Giant Skeleton a ton unless he's going against a beatdown deck. In that situation, he will mirror the Golem play behind the opponent's tower, and the Giant Skeleton will eventually intercept the Golem, and then when he dies, which we're expecting him to die, he'll kill all the support troops. That's how you're handling a big beatdown matchup. So here we go. This is the main offensive combo in this deck, guys. It's a minor poison skeleton barrel, and then the Flying Machine or Royal Ghost, whatever you have surviving from defense. Really important to know that Ivan told me this is definitely one of those decks that you're going to be playing more reactively, not proactively. It's not a hog cycle. It's not a minor poison cycle like in the golden years of Clash Royale. This is definitely a deck where you're going to want to defend first, then go super offensive. Just like we talked about, he played his Giant Skeleton right at the bridge there, guys, because we're well into overtime, into double elixir time, and we can afford to go ahead and do that. We're going to play Zappies, trying to reset this Inferno Dragon. We do a good job. That Giant Bomb is almost going to kill that Prince. The Flying Machine will finish it off. Here comes the Miner. This could be GG, guys. If we can keep this I almost called it an air sweeper again. I almost called the Flying Machine an air sweeper again. Either way, this is going to be a good game here. This is it, baby. Poison takes down the tower. Ivan's a beast, man. This guy's a beast. I wish I could play half as good as Ivan does, man. I'm so happy to have him on the channel finally. Jeez. All right, so let's go ahead and, let's call him a beast, I guess. And then let's watch that graveyard, the graveyard replay here. So this was the 10th win, guys, and let's see how he handles this matchup, because graveyard is definitely coming back into the meta in a really big way. So, let's go double speed to begin with here. It's, I'm so sick of seeing Goblin Huts. I don't know about you guys, but this deck needs to be, not this deck, the Mega Knight deck, the Mega Knight Goblin Hut deck. I don't know, it needs to be nerfed. I just had you guys know that I stream every single day, Monday through Friday, Plex Chat, 10K tournaments. Hope to see you guys in stream on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. But seriously, 11 of the top 20 decks were all the same deck yesterday. That's crazy, man. The same exact deck, not one card changed, that Mega Knight Inferno Dragon deck. So I do really think that we need a balance change, honestly. And I'm not a big fan of just asking for balance changes. Like, everywhere all the time, but I think it's time. It's not healthy to have one deck dominating like that. Even if you guys enjoy the deck, I really don't feel that it's good for the game. So here comes a big push here for us. That was a good skeleton barrel. You know what? We gotta slow this down here. Let's go back into single time here. So Zappies doing a pretty good job on that Inferno Dragon. That giant skeleton's bomb is going to finish off that Goblin Hut, but I don't think it would have even spawned anymore. This match actually goes way into overtime here, so it's going to be a good one to watch. And again, you know, we're just going to keep cycling these giant skeletons. Giant skeleton's going to do a really good job, as you guys know, of just clogging up the lane, right? So the opponent's forced to use poison here. It was actually a good poison because the flying machine does not leave, unfortunately, the radius. It looks like it did, but be careful if you're going against flying machine, and take note if you're playing the flying machine that you really have to watch its shadow, because the flying machine does not represent normally where it's from. So again, guys, we did the same exact move there, right? We cycled another giant skeleton, and the giant skeleton, he's either going to get to that Goblin Hut, take it out with his bomb, or he's just going to basically clog up the lane and kill all the counter push. So here he goes. Flying machine played behind the giant skeleton. There goes the bomb. Boom. Everything's dead. Look at that. Flying machine, the opponent forced to play that ice wizard. Meanwhile, Zappies and giant skeleton are going to do a good job countering this graveyard push. We play a royal ghost right at the bridge to intercept that ice wizard. Now is our chance here. We can do some serious damage. We have a flying machine. We have a skeleton barrel, and we play the flying machine right in the center. We want to avoid the tornado or the poison here. Here's the tornado. We're going to get some of these skeletons to the tower. No, we're not, but we do get flying machine in radius. Is he going to lock on? Is he going to? No. We did. Actually, he did. I stand corrected. So we're going to play another giant skeleton here, and it's basically rinse and repeat. We're going to go ahead and use the defensive poison. Obviously, poison's going to be one of your top weapons against graveyard in this deck. It's going to be really important that you do keep the poison for the graveyard if you don't have, or let me rephrase that. Just like Ivan's doing, if you're going to use the poison on offense, make sure you're not comboing it with the giant skeleton bomb. You don't always need poison on offense with this deck. That was a good poison on offense right there, because we got great value onto the Goblin Hut. But sometimes, you'll notice this is where the match ends, by the way, guys. Look at this. Oh, just a few skeletons got there, and now just one poison will finish it off there. A nice Zappies played. He could have lost it right here. He could have lost it if he didn't have those Zappies and the flying machine really, really quickly. So he actually gets the miner down there. The opponent's going to tornado the miner, but it doesn't matter. We just need that poison on the tower. So really, really well played there. And that was basically, in a nutshell, how this deck works. Double elixir time, use the giant skeleton, don't combo the poison with the giant skeleton unless you need to, because the giant skeleton's bomb is already going to do a lot of work for you guys. So huge shout out to Ivan, thanks for coming on. Check out his information in the description below, as well as my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Bren's now doing daily giveaways on Twitter, guys. Daily giveaways. Follow him on Twitter, check him out, thank him for all he does in the community. Guys, thank you for watching all the way till the end, and as always, take care, guys.